We're starting this exactly with EURUSD, and we are already on the live. So here we are again. Let's try to get some quick update on what's going to happen next week, and maybe some update on what has been happening or what we've been doing on the chart. So, but overall, this is going to be our analysis for the upcoming week. So it's just another way. It's another way to go. But now, so EURUSD does. To be honest, still I'm just dealing with the same logical area, which is these monthly levels. So what I've been doing is just keep things more organized. I'll just remove these psychological numbers for now, and then we can put them. I'm gonna leave that one for now. But EURUSD is just the same. I'm using this monthly level because again, is it like now I'm seeing some really bullish in this market. We have only 22 hours left for this monthly candle to close, and the only reason I was kind of expecting some pullback on EURUSD was from this EMA, but again, I'm just paying attention more with this structure overall here. But now that price is breaking the EMA, there might be a higher chance we can continue going. But use this as an example. Whenever we break it and whenever the market trade back below it, it's just going to be a massive drop from there. But we're gonna pay attention. It's just something that I just say quickly, to be honest. But this month candle, we cannot analyze this year because the month hasn't finished. So we're just gonna deal with the same candle that we've been using for the past 4 weeks. When this candle close tomorrow night, we can start to analyze this. So this that will give you more clear understanding where the direction will be for July. But for now, we're still using the logic. Market structure is bullish. Trade. Yeah, last day, last 22 hours. This candle is closing in 22 hours, so and it's closing bullish. I like it. So there might be pullback, but if you close bullish, there's very high chance that the arrow can continue with this bullish flow. But knowing these levels, price is fully above it. My main focus is the same thing. As long as structure align with the bullish market, I'm gonna look for buys. But put these levels there, drop down to the weekly time frame, and we can see here we have 1, 2, 3. We now create at a higher high. I don't know if you remember, we were saying we need a candle close above here. We have that now. So definitely we can expect a pullback. And obviously, like EURUSD, whenever I did massive pull, it just pull back. So whenever that pullback start to happen, we'll go with that. But for now, we're sticking with the market's flow. So last week closed bullish, clearing up all these weeks here and here. This candle closing all above here. So that is showing more bullish in the market overall. To be honest, there's nothing really to deal with this on candle wise here. So I don't want to use all the areas. So instead, we're just going to deal with psychological levels. Coming from 1.250 going on to 1.17500. So but for that, that is not the focus now. Let's pay attention to market structure. We have the bullish market on um, weekly time frame as well. We currently just make a new higher high, but we don't know if this is the higher high yet. Why? Because we haven't have any sign of pullback. So this market can continue going for however long it want until it shows a pullback signs. But with that, I know the weekly is bullish. I'm just gonna put this here a bit more. So then jump into the daily time frame and we can just see here. So again, if you don't know where we are with the market structure right now, you need to go watch with the past video. The video that is called scaling up with discipline chart update EURUSD and US30. There is a big explanation on there before this structure was broken. There was a nice video in it. So that video is there's so much information on that, to be honest. But overall, we're just going to play the market structure game in this. This is how we're making our money, though. To be honest, market structure, higher high, higher low. We was waiting for this high to break, and we can clearly see that is the new higher highs on EURUSD. We have now formed our new higher low. Why? Because we break this high here on last week Thursday, Wednesday. We create a new high. Now you can see some sign of pullback might come in the market. We can now start to pull back areas either on this high here, or we can come a bit further down because we can have another rally. But overall, our targets are this area on the daily. Why? Because um, those are the last area that we kind of have for liquidity, basically. You see this here, 1 2, there's liquidity here, there's liquidity here. If it gets crazier, we can go all the way back into this high. But this is basically the reason for this. Just need to know where the market is going. But market structure, we're still bullish on EURUSD. Nothing changed, but we stick with this. Now all I'm looking for on EURUSD, can use the same logic. I'm just gonna put that here for now to be even clear. I'll put that here or even here. So we know we have break and retest continuation. So now again I can just, this I just modified on the 4-hour time frame, but overall it was just basically from this week here, from this candle week here to here, because obviously like price is clearly telling you where it's breaking. All these rejection are happening at this price based on this, because this was the first rejection we had there. So they're all representing this. So I think it was modified based on the 4-hour time frame, but it's the daily area that I was looking. So that indicating whenever price retest here, there's very high chance we can continue going highs from there. Special areas this bullish as fuck. But daily time frame, we know we're currently just making, if we have 1 day pullback candle, like I don't know if you can see, the candles are basically from, so this candle can do one thing, it can continue going higher and make another candle weak, but the next 2 3 days candle might be a bearish candle, like which is pullback. We can pull back into this area or even back a bit below here, but we'll see how the monthly candle close. When we take the monthly highs and low tomorrow, we'll know exactly what's going to happen. But for this area, the daily time frame again is bullish. 4-hour time frame, we need to pay back attention to the structures. This I modify it back up here, basically all the way to here based on the 4-hour time frame. You can see how many rejection, 1 2 3 4, few rejection, and we clearly just break it here. And again, if we pay back attention to structure, we're gonna see we was looking at this structure. Here's higher lows, higher highs, or we can call this higher high, and we have a higher low. We then have a new higher high, we have a higher low, we're now having a higher high. This low here, we're only going to be using this as more confluence area because it's aligned with the daily high, and second is the where the pullback happened before we actually break the structure, and third is within the actually structure leg that we're in. This area can be valuable for price to hold here and continue going higher, but we need to understand that is not the structure point. As long as we understand that we're good, this will be the structure point this all time. This can just be an area of interest where price can come here and continue going with the flow. But again, if you pay attention, what number do we have here? 1.16. Bang, we run into 1.17. Now 1.17 is breaking here. Price is giving you this kind of bullish market, but you need to pay attention. This could be fake out, and especially it's happening around this psychological level. The can be an aggressive pullback coming back down from there. So we're gonna pay attention to this area. If EURUSD can pull back down to this area, we know that is when we should start looking for buy. But until then, these areas here, don't expect the market to do much. You can wait for another aggressive move to happen, then we can catch the continuation for this. But until then, there's nothing really that you can do in this market. But you get the idea. Yeah, so that is another how you can understand structure more. Like try to identify areas that are inside the structure. They're not the main structure. That always the structure will be this, the first move. This move, it don't matter if market push and it pull back. If you don't take out the actual structure that you are looking at, don't count this as a structure. So make sure it's called some whatever I call them internal structure or substructure, a structure within a structure. So yeah, but this area there is very higher chance on here USD to hold before we can have a nice buy. Yeah. So yeah, 4 hour again, we know our 4 hour time frame structure is bullish. If we go 1 hour, this is the main structure we'll be dealing with when we take a monster trade. That is why I highlighted this area. But bro, you just can tell when the market is building up, bro. You can literally just tell. So obviously we know this area, for us to get any buys from here, we have to be really cautious about it. But as long as the structure stays, we try to go with the structure. It don't matter what time frame we're on. And the EMA is kind of aligning with the area that we kind of been discussing not too long ago. But again, 1 hour structure stays the same thing. Oops, let me just do this. If you see these structures, the way I'm using this, we were going from this leg to this leg. All this time, this market has just been pulling back until the 23rd of July. When we push higher, all this here didn't break the high, so none of them count. So that is why I took this here and here. I didn't choose any of this. Why? Because if you look at this candle and this candle, they're all kind of just doing the same behavior, but we want this weak candle to be more in the middle than the actually side on here. So that is when the pullback is actually happening, because if you look in this candle, 1 2 3, you can count this as a pullback candle, this last candle. So we do have 1 2 3, we do have a pullback. That is why I choose this. So from here to here is one leg. Now the idea is just one thing. We don't know what the structure is going to do. We don't know if it's gonna come here or not. We can only validate our structure once we find out the higher high has been made and price pullback. What can you see? You can see some swing formation here as well. Now candles are actually closing back above this selling candle here. So this, you can say this might be the structure. Again, it's most of this question is like, because we don't know if it's gonna happen. This might be the structure for market to continue going higher and create a new higher high. Because why? We already in the flow of making series of higher highs, higher lows. We need a new higher high. We don't know where this higher low might be happening. It might be here, it might be here, or it might be all the way back down here. But the signs that is showing around this area, and if you pay attention again, what can you see? 1.700 psychological number. So we can bounce from here one more time. We can, this price can come back here and continue going higher. That is basically the idea for this on EURUSD. That is basically, yeah. As long as you pay attention to this, cause bro, if structure is gone, it's gone. When a pullback happen, we're only expecting, we're looking for this formation in the opposite direction so we can continue going with that structure. And again, if you see where this is happening, this last push here, where did this start? It's obviously here. So if you take this other block, where did price come to? Here. And what time does it happen? 6, 7, 8, we close. You could have taken a trade on this, but it was Friday. you don't want to take any trade around this time. So instead, we wait for market to open. What we are going to look for under our entry time frame, which 15 minutes here, that is why I have the same zone highlighted. This was the trade we took on Friday. Again, that retested here, but this was the overall move for that leg. We was taking a trade based on the decisional level. It does give us the confirmation kind of ish, but overall the market just kept turning around. But yeah, this is this, and 15-minute structure is basically doing the same thing. We have a higher high, higher low, higher high. I was looking at this low. I only make it a higher low once I see price actually now breaking this high, because I have 15-minute closing there. So this here can now be my higher low where those prices going. It's gonna go and take out this high. So this this trade that I'm trying to take on here, because obviously now I know the idea is just to go and take out this high anyways, but I cannot just jump in this trade. To actually get in this trade, I want price to come back down here before it take out this high. If price just continue going high and take out this high before we come here, this area will come kind of become irrelevant. But if it comes down here before we take out the high, we can just think we're still in the structure. Until then, we can just be doing this on EURUSD for hours. And price, as long as we come here, we need to go, bro. Yeah.
You are seeing some weird shit, bro.
The market is just getting clear, bro. But that's basically it for EURUSD. We just waiting to catch this market continuation again. We're gonna go from this psychological number now, expecting it to run into the error is this, bro. Lately, I gotta tell them, these moves are just happening, bro, in a blink of eye, bro. We just running from psychological level to psychological level. Spike it, reject it, break it, retest for few session. We break it again. So basically, we still just in a retest on this psychological level. So the idea is that you need to go continue going from there. And we have some area that we can even copy and paste here. These daily targets. We can copy this and paste it here. But price is way far from there. There is a lot of trade that we can take or look for until we get there. But this market one thing is just bullish. That's it. For now, we pay attention to this structure, and this is our trade. First trade idea for this week. If EURUSD held, we are gonna buy from 1700 and go to 1800. That will be the bias for this for now. So with that, we're gonna say an alert here. Buy zone message. Buy zone. Wait for confirmation. Patient. Yep. And that when that hits, this message will send to my email or some shit. But that's the EURUSD. Any
This
what you
actually
mind saying?
interesting.
It's interesting, isn't it?
The fact,
Bro.
bro, you actually expecting this move to happen, bro, because you don't take these highs here. It's kind of like they're just ranging.
It's ranging. It's basically just ranging now. Yeah, you can see it's just ranging. But that
And
structure.
this area, bro, is so interesting, bro, because when the move happen,
Mm,
they're trying to make a pullback, and the pullback, that's all you can call all this a
a
pullback
pullback.
because
Yeah.
you don't break nothing.
This is basically the pullback for this leg. All these are not actually the pullback. Why? Because market didn't take out the structure before this pullback. You see, whenever we take out structure, the pullback that will happen is different. Whenever we take a structure, the pullback that happen is different. It's just like more clear pullback. Yeah. So again, we just can see structures more clean now. You must take them, bro. When price breaks structure, wherever high it makes, look for the candles. As long as there's some swing candle formation in there, you can validate them as your structure point. It's all on your hand. You need to understand them, bro. But continue taking this and this. Why? because we pull back and create a new high. We pull back here. I wasn't going to take this. I was trying to play with this, but price just start to hold this. I was looking at the market at this time on Thursday, this candle. I was expecting it's gonna come all the way back down here by New York, but instead we just hold here. I only validate this now after I see the market breaking this high. Now I know the structure is broken. So anything below here is kinda irrelevant now. But yeah, this is clean though. This is
Yes.
looking super good on EURUSD. The rest, I think it's just come down to be more patient, bro.
Patient.
Because this is gonna play out. You can literally see the market has been playing out. Everything we said by morning, 2 days after is just doing the crazy shit. And again, this area I only put it here. This is just a box around this psychological number, 1.7200. So we break from here and come half of it. So we're just ranging between that. But we're not dealing with the half numbers. We're dealing from the actually whole move from one to another. These areas is just used for a pullback. We hit that area, we pull back into the actual number. Now we're going, but this definitely need to. I like what it's doing from here. It's just gonna do that thing, like the same thing here, continuation. But that is that for Euro USD, US30, US30, and US30. That guy.
It's that it's changing life now.
Oh my God, now we know US30 is bullish, but again, I don't have to change anything on this. If you can see here, I'm just paying attention to the structures. These structures, I was thinking, what the fuck is this going to be the pullback two candles? Yes, now it officially is because you can see the formation. One, two, is clean, bro, and it's happening after we break structure. This is not the pullback. This is not the pullback. We actually have it here. We have one, two, three. We then have one, two, three. We continue with the flow. Now we just need a pullback, either above. If price stay above this number, we're going back again. We're going to 45,000. That is another 1,000 pips on US30. And you can see that area is basically the next stop on US30 though, because where is the highs? They're basically here, here.
Yeah.
And where is this? 45.
45.
And that is the last price US30 on. And again, if this market stay bullish, we're aiming for new high on like the actually time frame on like weekly or some shit. Because if you're paying attention, you'll know exactly what we're doing here. This market is just bullish. If this is this, we have been doing this all the way here. So in some sense, you can expect this is all one leg. This is just a pullback. We're now going higher here, but we don't pay too much attention to this. But yeah, US30, the analysis for this week, we're gonna go and check again. It's the same levels that we're using, dealing with the monthly level. And if you can see here, this month is closing so good on US30, bro. We have one, two, three confirmation. Second month closing like this. Where can this price go next? It's just bullish, bro. And the stock market are really bullish, especially there's so much shit going on. But yeah, US30 can do some nice push. Maybe 46,000 soon, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Interesting.
definitely we're gonna go here 45,000. And if that breaks clearly, the next stock can only be 46 and so on. But for that, I know price is still trading above this last week, this last month level. We're breaking these psychological numbers like crazy. So monthly is looking good. Weekly, um, again, is the weekly time frame is not clear though. You just need to understand. But again, you see that what we were just doing on the 1 hour time frame, one daily time frame, that could be all one leg.
One leg.
So it's just a one leg for these structures was broken here. This not pullback, this not pullback, this not pullback. This is a pullback. We was expect market to go higher. Did it break the structure? Instead, no, it dropped. Where did it drop back down to the extreme point? This is actually where this whole move started. We now come there. We can see from there 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Like 12 weeks we've just been bullish. Get loga kininonga. So yesterday super bullish for now. Weekly time frame, again, we're not paying too much attention here, but we just know we have 1, 2 massive week, bro. Imagine there would be another week like this.
I love that.
Boy, are you paying attention? The market is looking good though. It's looking so good. But again, now expect a pullback though, but it's not showing any sign of that yet. So we're not gonna be the first guy. But we're breaking structures, making higher highs, higher low. This here, you can say you can use this if you want to because it did wick above it. And then we have obviously have a clear pullback. So this higher low, higher high. We have a new higher low here. And what this price does, we break into high. We don't know when the pullback is going to happen.
We don't know.
We don't know. We only need to pay attention and react with the market, not against it. So this for now, the way it's going, again, we just need 2, 3 days candle for a pullback anyways. But that can easily have start to happen around this psychological number now. So we can pull back a bit and then the break above that number again is going to be insane. We're gonna go back all the way here. But for now, to be honest, I'm gonna have to highlight 45,000 because yep, yeah. See that reaction here, price just rejected, bro. It's the psychological numbers that you need to pay attention. But we're gonna, yes, this happens from here, but we're not gonna say the same thing is gonna happen from here. No,
No.
this
Never
happened
even
because market was in aggressive pullback. We just going to the weekly lows. But for this, we just expecting the market to do other way around, break here and continue going. But we all have to stay pay attention to the structure now. And I'm seeing so much clear things on here though. So clean. And again, structure. The structure that we were using from the previous videos is was from here because this is the counter trend we was looking at. We can use this whole thing, but I just look at the counter trend. When the counter trend switch back to the bullish market, obviously this is my structure. But this, when the market was kind of doing this pulling back, I look into this area. This is when the first change happened. We then create a new high inside the structure. What do we do? Create a new higher low. Then what happened? We create a new higher high, indicating what price now breaks structure. That actually structure. But we're trying to build the structure within the substructure, knowing that we're aiming for the actual structure that the market is on. So this will be the higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, and this here you can now be decisive. If you want to take this, you have to take it. Why? Because price did kind of wake above this here, and we have some few hours pullback, and this pullback have a little bit space though. So it's a structure. So now let's get the structures more clear. We have higher high, low, and if I wanna take this as new higher high, this will be the higher low. Now this become our new higher high. This is the higher low, and we're in a leg now. We just need candle to pull back like this.
like that. They will catch
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So now we know the exactly structure we're in. It's the same structure that's building on US30, to be honest. So, and this is for our, again, we paying more attention with our structure on the 1 minute, 1 hour time frame. So I'm just gonna go here. We have structure, lower high, lower low. We then change to bullish. We create a new high, higher low. And you can take this, but we're gonna create this and take this as new higher high. And now this is our new higher low that we're looking for. So when price come back here, we can either now take this, but that have a little bit ugly cap on it. I'm just gonna modify it and take this. This move here is our new higher low. We're aiming to take out this high. When did that happen? Here. We create a new higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, again higher high. You see that 1 hour is having more there. Yeah. So this week is looking good though, I can't lie. So with that US30, we basically just looking for one thing or another. This area price can now, we're gonna take this area overall. This is because this is the extreme point of structure. And let's put that to Thursday, Tuesday, 7. That's calm. But our attention is with this structure here. What we can do here, because this is a huge candle and US30 loves to pull back, we can now take 50% of this and use that on the 15-minute time frame. So 50% of this will be somewhere here. So we're gonna use this candle to be even clear. We're gonna use from this week to the bottom of this candle. And if you check that area, maybe it's aligning more with this here anyways. This 15-minute order block. Yeah. So now it's giving me more there because this candle have the highest volume in all this shit. So to be a bit more aware, I'm just gonna set the alert on that candle here because this candle have more volume than all of this. And market loves to just stay above this. So in this case, you can just pay attention and use this as your order block for now. But price can just dip. You can just wick here and then reject and continue going. But US30 is looking so clean, bro. Yeah, it's super clean. But now all we gotta look for now, we know structure, we know the market is going. These areas that we're taking are just the areas. This is all we have now. But before our trading time, we can see some cool shit. We just need to pay attention and just try to identify those areas and take the trade according to. But the way I'm seeing US30 closing above this psychological number here, our attention should be to like before closer to this time, market can just continue going. But closer to this time, we need to understand where the last recent move happened. If it's closer to this level, good. If it's below it, even better. But when we break above this psychological number, especially around this time, there's very high chance that throughout the New York session or the week, the market will try to just continue going from there. You just need to understand and know where the structure you're in. We have created new higher high now. Obviously, there has to be pullback. They cannot go anywhere without doing the pullback. So when that pullback happens, wherever low it gave us, we need to pay attention to see if that break the structure, and then we can start to trade it with it from there. But yeah, so for now we did break a structure. We need to make a new higher high and pull back, so that pullback can come all the way down here. But for that, I think that's just it for US30 as well. We're just bullish. We're looking for buys.
That's it.
That's it. We're just done. That is just that for these two charts. Again, these updates are from our previous trades. analysis. The other videos can explain that clear. There's a lot of things that happen to it, but I think we'll make a special video for that just to explain all those things in other videos, just so that we don't just try to put everything in one video. This video is just purely on our analysis based on what we think is going to happen in the market for this week based on market structure. But I think we are in a good space, good place.
Wow, we are in a wonderful place. It's crazy. It's sick.
Yeah, man.
The idea behind this call.
This guy here, we need to force him and put him in the charts. He's sleeping. But yeah, man, what you mans can do now,